What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a while. Life is going slow and super fast at the same time, and I just haven't been able to get out here, get some videos done, but here we are. So today we are gonna work on this guy. Gonna do some work finally to this truck. I've actually already started doing work to it. As you can see, there's a missing light. Pulled the bumper off, pulled some junk off of here. What we're doing today is going to finish what I started yesterday. I was going to record yesterday, but it was extremely windy and I did not want to deal with noise canceling, and I didn't want to deal with the tripod getting blown over constantly, so I just did it without videotaping. But what I did yesterday was started pulling these wires off. I need to redo the wires. I got some electrical issues going on with the truck, so I bought a spool. You can kind of see it right there. I bought a spool of 2 aught to redo all these wires. Pulled the power off both sides there. I pulled this off because I noticed when I was in there that the intercooler boots are messed up. This is your power wire running from the alternator over to the battery, and it is just, let's see if we can focus here, it is just bad. It is bad. So I don't know if this is actually going to fix the problem that I'm facing, but it'll be a good start. So also, I apologize if I sniff a lot in this video. For some reason, this year's the year I get allergies, I guess. I don't know. But I started pulling all these different wires, started labeling them just to make sure when I go back in to put it together, I know what's going on. I gotta get this ground off of here. I'm gonna redo this ground. At one point, the alternator wire was getting so hot it like melted, and there used to be a plastic thing here, and it broke off. I was trying to remove all this stuff. I got this ground to take off, and when I was in here, complete mess. This is the wiring for my FOS that's back there. I want to clean that up a little bit. I got an edge controller. This is all the wiring. This is all the wiring for the edge. It's always just sort of been thrown in here, and I was digging around. If I'm gonna do all this, I want to get that all cleaned up. But I pulled the battery tray, was all messed up. Pulled that out. This is your fuse and relay block, and it's broken, and I don't know, some work was done to this truck before I got it that it was just slapped together, it looks like. I think I don't know if they got a new fuse block or what, but all these wires are just thrown in here. They're just laying bare on all this metal. I found a GPS tracker in here. It's tucked up into here, and it ran out, and it attached to under here. It attached to the starter relay. So at some point, somebody somewhere was, I don't know, protecting it from getting stolen, I guess. If it did get stolen, they're able to remotely shut it down. Don't know. Got that cut off. I gotta patch some wires up. I pulled the power wire running over to the starter over here. Yeah, I just cleaning up all the different things. Just got bare wires. Well, not bare, but the wire looms are all messed up. Just stuff everywhere. This is the cruise control module, and it's never worked. Cruise has never worked. I don't know if I'm going to delete that or not. Like I said earlier, I got new boots coming, have them ordered. I do have a new one of these intakes to put on. There's oil everywhere and grease, but it is a Cummins, so. But I do have a new gasket, valve cover gasket to put on. I got all sorts of parts to put on this thing, but focusing on electrical. My goal is to get these grounds out, get the new ground wire and power wire cut, put back in. There are certain things like, I think it's this one. So this is for the coolant temp sensor. It's all sorts of messed up on that. Like there's all sorts of stuff that kind of just need to get a whole new wire loom, but it is what it is. So goal for today: cut the length, power and ground wires, get them reinstalled, maybe get this thing started. Wrench isn't gonna work. These ground bolts are kind of in a hard place to get to. I couldn't get them with a wrench. You gotta use a ratchet to reach them. These transmission cooler lines are in the way of this one right here. Now I do have a new transmission cooler on here, an underbed one that would eliminate all of this and be a lot easier. But that's for our future. Back in the day when I was a kid, not when I was a kid, but when I was younger, I'd pull all the bolts out and I'd never put any of them back. And I would just be like, oh, I'll remember where they go. And then, you know, you always end up with extra bolts. But as I get older, my brain's not working the way it used to. So I've been making sure to put all the bolts back as I'm taking them out so I know exactly where they go. Seems to work pretty good for me. One. 1, 2. All right. Really get a good look at this, but they're pretty disgusting, so I'm sure that's not helping the electrical connectivity of it, but it is what it is. There was a certain point in the ownership of this vehicle, and one winter I plugged it in and I heard all sorts of popping from the 110 block heater, and it was like melting snow that was in the engine bay, and I was like, what is going on? So I took it out, I unplugged it. I found, I don't know if we can get this. Found a wore through spot that was grounding out the 110 onto the frame. So I'm just gonna snip the wires up here. Call it a day on that plug-in. Maybe replace it in the future, but not this time. Alright, I set the camera off to trace some wires. I've been cranking away, getting all this sorted out. I got the edge out to the side. I've pulled some of the wires. They're just all over the place. I pulled them. I got this bad boy pulled out. I'm digging through all these wires, seeing, because they're going everywhere. I got this random green one right here. It runs right here all the way up into this connector, but it like snakes outside the loom and goes through the firewall into there. Don't know what it's for. It's been tapped into at one point. Not sure on that. I did notice this yesterday. This was looped around the piping. I think I'm gonna cut this shorter. I'm gonna angle that fitting this way, cut this shorter, and just tuck it in a little bit nicer. Get that fuel line. This fuel line is super cracking. This will probably need to be replaced soon. I found a vacuum line. It goes from this check valve all the way to, I'm assuming, the vacuum pump right here. That's all cracking and bad, but I loosened this up too because I want to put some loom under there, get this all cleaned up. But I'm dragging these wires through here and check this out. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Lost you in the zoom in. That's a ground right there that runs to the wire loom. Look how nasty that thing is. I doubt that's doing any good, so I'm gonna pull that out, clean that up good. But yeah, that's part of this wire loom. Grounding, I'm assuming, this or some of the components on this. So yeah, this is becoming a bigger job than I expected. Well, I knew it was gonna be a big job, but it's becoming bigger than I wanted it to be. But I'm gonna keep cranking at it. Let's see if I can get a good view of this. So this was a ground packet that was nasty, but I'm cutting it off to, and it will not focus on. Anyway, I'm cutting these back to see if I can redo those grounds, and these are all nasty, like water or something is all the way back into it. It's like I'm gonna have to cut this loom open and pull these all the way back and find some good wire and re-ground it somewhere. I was just gonna use these, but I don't think they're gonna work. I'm in that part of the project where everything's a mess. Doesn't seem like anything's getting done. Just more mess is happening, but we're cranking away. We're getting it done. I really got this going and got all that crud out of there. I put some degreaser on this, cleaned all that off of there. I'm gonna try to get a wire loom around this. I don't know where the grease and oil's coming from, but it's getting in it. It's not good for the wires, so I'm gonna try to get wire loom on this. Bottom of this is down here. Yeah, it's pretty gross. It's broken, so it doesn't stay together, so I gotta figure out a way to get that to stay tighter, because it's getting up in here and getting all nasty in here. I kind of want to make my own fuse and relay box and just start all over. That may be a future thing, but for now, just making more and more and more of a mess, but getting out what I need to get out, getting the garbage out, and we're coming to the end. About to be starting to put it back together now. All right, another quick update. It still doesn't look like I did much, but I have. So I was tracing them grounds back, and there was, like, it's still bad here. I cut probably, I don't know, 6-8 inches off the front, and it's still bad. It's all like water got up all the way in there, but I split them up. I put new ends on. These are grounds that were with that, but they run to different plugs up here. I couldn't put them together, so I'm gonna make 2 ground points. Ground to the frame. I got a new wire loom put on all the way down to the main wire loom. And over here, this is my starter relay wire. It had the weird GPS thingy attached to it. I snipped that off Put them wires back together, heat shrinked it, made it nice. Now I'm going to get this mess all loomed up, and I'll be able to get all these wires back where they go. Hey, how's it going? So, funny story. I went to go edit this clip and found out my mic wasn't working. So, I got 2 minutes of video and no audio. So that means I get to do a voiceover. Basically just saying I got my edge wires all tucked in the way I wanted to. I got my fuel line moved over and out of the way of the piping how I like it, but it is pretty cracked. I need to replace it. That's for a future project. I got all this back together. I got my FOSS relay put on the firewall and all the extra wiring tucked up back there nicely out of the way. I got all that bare wire has been loomed up and electrical taped, so it's not on that fender anymore. It's tucked up nice. Got it run underneath there. You can see in the previous videos how it was laying everywhere. Power wire for the edge and power wire for the FOSS, all ready to go to the battery. Got my grounds where I need them. Those were those really crusty ones. Data cable, need to plug that in. Haven't decided where I'm running it yet. Here I am making a comment about the weather and the rain that it looks like it's about to do. And fun fact, it rained every day for like the next week. We had some serious weather. Talking about the computer, the grounds, the plugs, putting wire loom on there. Just basic stuff. Well, that'll be it for this video. I did in fact get rained out, and I got rained out for the next 3 or 4 days. But I did get back to it, and there is more coming, so stay tuned for more.